Iron Man is closer.
Yeah, I think Iron Man is closer.
I guess.
Yeah, because Cap is the one who was like language. That's an opener.
Yeah, but Cap was
That's
morally
an opener all
correct,
day.
and
That's
I
an
feel like
opener.
the closers are morally correct.
No, you want them to be.
I want them to be. I want them to be.
You want them to be, but they are not. I understand where their brain could be like that because I'm sitting here watching it in other countries as well. It's something broken within people that they'll follow a madman. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Manson, Trump, psychopaths, man, sociopaths in Trump's sense. But like, it's crazy. You can get people to follow you. I've really been watching that lately. The sway that someone could have over a group of people.
Just gotta say that quiet part out loud for them. That's all it takes.
Yeah. But people are waking up because, I mean, the atrocities are they're becoming numerous at this point. You can only take so much. Like they think people are just gonna keep taking it, but like, and just be like, oh fuck, this is just life now. There's nothing I can do. But it's like, no. Have you not seen every other rebellion in history? Mm-hmm. Eventually, the people say, enough. Enough.
Do you want to do the intro since you did it last time?
Nah. I got my one. Spider-Man said, everybody gets one.
Got your one for the year?
Yeah.
Welcome back everyone to another episode of the podcast. We pull back the curtain, give you some insight on what goes on behind the scenes at your favorite bar and restaurant. We like to call that the industry perspective.
You got your applause?
No, it's too late.
Yeah. It's
3D.
It's easier to do when we're here at the house and stuff is a little bit more controlled. But I did notice when we were at Spring Street and you were trying to do the sound, it wasn't picking it up with the noise cancellation kicking in. The audio was just too low. So that sucks. It would be a nice way to get like a good soundboard or something. Because it is a fun part of the show. I do miss the soundboard. What's up, motherfuckers?
Eventually. I just had a burp.
All good, man.
Whiskey.
All good.
God damn.
Well, at least you apologize, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
At least I apologize.
There you go.
Nobody needed to give me any grace.
Yeah, don't be rude.
I'm not gonna try to be rude.
Yeah.
Nobody had to apologize on my behalf or explain that. Let's move on from that. All right. Everything that was said is to be said at the NAACP Awards. So.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
That
was my first thought. It was I haven't watched the NAACP Awards yet. Mm-hmm. I've been, as I told you before we started recording, like I've had like a lot of other stuff that I've been working on and either working on or dealing with certain stuff. So I haven't been in the headspace to watch it. But some of the, memes and videos I've seen online, I'm like, how you feel like whenever Bad Bunny has like a big moment or whenever Puerto Rico has a big moment, you're like, I'm glad to be Puerto Rican. I'm like, that was one of mine. Like, I haven't seen the video, the ceremony yet, but I'm like, I'm so glad to be black, and being Afro-Latino, it's nice to be able to connect to both sides. And I've enjoyed the last year plus of having that since like Kendrick's Super Bowl performance and then Benito's Super Bowl performance is like, as a kid growing up, especially being an orphan kid growing up as far as like not having your actual parents around, so you don't have like a connection to either side. You kind of feel like, you feel disconnected. I'll put it that way. And then you get older and then it's more accepted for you to be able to be connected to both sides. But it's also up to you to want to be connected to both sides, because there's sometimes where, I've even said this before, where like when I was younger, I had times where I didn't say I was either race. I would just say I was mixed, because as a kid, like I didn't have any Latinos around, and then the black people were like, "Nah, you ain't black." So it was just like, it's nice to be able to be who you are, but it still comes from communication and wanting to connect to people, And I see a lot of that, especially like in the service industry, when it comes to people working the same job code but different shifts, especially if that means that they don't work together. And it's always crazy to see how the communication breakdown can like cause certain things.
Okay.
I feel like I've been talking for a while, but I don't know if you want me to elaborate on that.
No, go ahead. Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
I'll make it short though. So like, case in point, I gotta be careful because like my coworkers watch this show. So I want to make sure that like,
so pay attention.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like, I want to make sure I say this right, because what I always see in this, especially being at this stage of my career and also this stage of life where you kind of step back and analyze stuff a bit more, I see how that breakdown in communication can cause people to have like friction, where there really isn't any or shouldn't be any, especially if they don't work together on the same shift. And you might not understand that like the shit that you both are dealing with is miscommunication from up high. And it shouldn't even have gotten to a point where there's causing friction between you two, but because miscommunication up top. And I'm not saying that this is the case here. I'm just using this particular where I work now as an example, because this came up like last night where we were out of some stuff. And so I had some questions. And so when I asked the bar back, their response was like, hey, I'm doing my part, And then I'm like, well, I also work with the other bar back. And they're like, I'm doing my part. And I'm standing there like,
and you got the other bar back.
Either one of y'all doing fucking shit. Like, no, it's like, that was just part of the joke. But no, I'm like, you both are doing your part. But when I'm asking you, like, if something's missing or whatever, there are some times where, because there's so many breakdowns in communication, even between how you guys were trained, there's breakdowns in communication where there's stuff that, because I've been here so long, I know where that's at, or I know how to do that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not that I'm like, no one's doing their job. Everyone's doing their job. But, I'm like, but both of y'all are saying that. Like, so I'm not saying no one's doing their job. I'm just saying, where's this at? But I said all that to say, I really just want everyone to feel more comfortable just reaching out and talking with people, especially when they're like, oh, I feel like I'm doing the best I can. And what's going on with them? Like, shit, take our fucking, cohabitation. You know what I mean? Like, bills got to get paid, but everyone has their own personal stuff too. So you got to give people space, but we communicate. So that's why we don't have issues like that. But we might see each other the same amount of time I see people at my job half the time as far as communication. Yeah. So if we didn't have good communication, and there have been times where our communication is broken down, and it's like, and then we finally get a chance to actually sit down and chop it up, and it's like, oh man, it wasn't even like that. So I just want to say, like, to anybody out there, like, if you're feeling frustration at your job, especially you're working the same job codes as somebody, and you feel like, oh man, I'm always doing this. It's like, what you might not know is that when that person comes in, there's stuff that you inherently miss. So then they're having to do it. So then both of you are saying, well, damn, they never do this. And it's like, but have either one of you been trained to do it? Has anyone told you that both of you are supposed to do it? Or that both of you are supposed to do it this way? And I'm like, like, don't always let a breakdown in communication from up high cause that breakdown in communication between peer to peer to where you're over here like harboring something that's not even there. You know, and I'm not speaking for anyone here. I've seen that in so many jobs, dude. Fuck the night shift, fuck the day shift, fuck that other bar back, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely one of those things where the the openers always have to be with the closers, because then the openers will come in and be like, oh, why wasn't this done? Oh, you go in, they find like anything.
Yeah.
They turn into fucking what's that fucking what's that fucking dog's name? McGruff, the crime dog.
Oh,
They just
McGruff, the
sniff
crime
out.
dog. Yeah,
they just start sniffing out every little thing.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah.
what is this little nook and cranny that nobody's ever paid
Yeah.
attention to? Oh, what is that?
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't fucking this bottle's off by this much. Like, they just find everything. It's like, okay, but what did you prep? Why did
Right.
it come through and there's no prep done? Why am I now having to fill up my own juice bottles and this and that? So it's like, it's always funny, like back and forth. But also, I do think openers have it a little bit easier. So
And so do all the openers.
openers have it a little bit easier because
But so do all the openers. They think the same thing.
that's why they're openers. That's why they
I'm
choose to
just
open.
saying.
But it's always funny because
I didn't agree.
I don't think they realize that, yeah, closing, we probably got slammed, whatever. Some things might have got missed. We were tired. We wanted to get the hell out of there. But if you got all that time to find all this shit, then fucking clean it. Oh, but then they'll never shut the fuck up. Just clean it. Clean it. If it's that big of a deal, clean it.
However, for people who open, they have from this amount of time to this amount of time. And that's all they got until they open. They got a finite amount of time. And so for them, an argument can be made, and I am attempting to make it for you. Argument can be made to like, well, if you know how long it takes to open this place, everything you leave for me as a closer adds on to me having to open. There's also that side of
That's
it too,
true.
because
That's true.
it still takes the same amount of time to open this place that it always does, unless I got to do some extra shit, some extra cleaning,
For sure.
some extra restocking. And so for the opener who, the opener can feel like, well, you have it easier because when you close, you get to take your time and close, and you get the luxury of being like, they'll get it in the morning.
That's true.
Opener don't get that.
That's true.
And they're there when the fucking managers are there, and the managers are like, why didn't this get done? And they're like, man, this shit never gets done.
Yeah.
But like the same way you said, like if you have time to find it, you have time to clean it. And they're like, but if you had time to leave it, you had time to clean it. So I'm saying it's equal.
Yeah.
It's always equal.
sure.
I want everyone to understand I'm not just trying to be Switzerland. I'm just saying, as someone who has done a lot of opens and a lot of closes, I have been equally angry on both.
Yeah.
Equally angry
I
and have
get
known all of the processes, and I've been equally angry at a motherfucker.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm going to choose the side of the closer. Fuck the openers. Fuck neutrality. I'm with you, closers. Openers don't do shit.
He's chosen his side. I
chosen
get it.
my side. What are you going to choose? Captain America or Iron Man?
It's like, who's going to the afters?
I'm choosing the side of Captain America.
So
Like,
he's
fuck
going
that.
to the afters.
Yeah.
That would be more Iron Man. So you'd be going to the afters with Iron Man. That would be that
Yes,
side.
But I would choose the side of, I don't know, whatever side you want to anoint to the closers, whether it's Cap or Iron Man.
I'd say it's Iron Man.
Iron Man is closer,
Yeah, I think
Okay,
Iron Man
well
is
then-
closer.
I guess.
Yeah, because Cap is the one who was like language. That's an opener.
Yeah, but Cap was
That's
morally
an opener,
correct,
man.
and
That's
I
an
feel like
opener.
the closers are morally correct.
No, you want them to be.
I want them to be. I want them to be.
You want them to be, but they are not. And you don't really want them to be. You don't want morals from your closers.
No.
You want moral corruptibility, depending on what that is. Yeah.
Yeah. What else was about the communication? Yeah, I'm just so fortunate that the people I work with, we don't have barbacks really anymore.
Yes, yeah.
So we all kind of just do everything. And
Yeah, I do like that system, not gonna lie.
it's just one of those places where it's not really a problem because if my boss were to be like, we're like a family, I'd be like, you know what? We kind of are. Because we operate like one. Like, we look after each other. We switch shifts, this and that, whatever is needed. Which actually, I just remembered I agreed to switch shifts with somebody this weekend. And I got to make sure what day that is before I
Yeah, go
forget.
ahead and double check that. I will say that I
Sounds
do
fine.
agree with that. You know, because technically I'm on the employee sheet.
You got a W-2.
Yeah, yeah, technically. Nah, Brandon always feels like family though. That's the thing. That's the only reason I would ever like help you guys out. I mean, I love you, bro, but you know, if Brandon didn't run the kind of place that he runs, I wouldn't be helping you out over there. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. But I mean that just in the sense of like, I'm not helping anybody on my day off. You know what I mean?
for sure.
Especially to go to a party that I'd rather hang out at for 2 hours or so and then leave. You know, and I mean that's an LA thing. We talked about that off camera, you know. So yeah, I can say that if a place tries to say that we're a family, that's normally a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, this is one of those like green flag moments. It's
For
like,
sure.
It's like, oh, this venue is over 6'2", has a good job, always calls his mom. You know? That's a family business right there.
Jesus
Like you're
Christ.
like, oh, you'd actually marry that business because it's a family business. That's what Gabby
What's
said.
that? We are here, your family. Like Olive Garden.
Gab took it literally.
Yeah.